I've been working on this for a while now. This is a weird evolution if you remember the K command blue white control list from back in the day, or back in the day, a little while ago. Um, just a more controlling that was a more controlling build. I think we were playing Wrath of Skies, but just trying to be like counter spells, K command, untap. So I looking at that build a little bit more, I started to become like really interested in this play pattern of like I'm holding up counter spells, and I actually was playing actual counter spell for a little while, which is hard to cast. But you're holding up counter spells, holding up K command, holding up subtlety, and I was really interested in just being able to, if you didn't want to cast one of your interactive spells, just casting a Fact or Fiction, filling up the graveyard with a lot of types, and just digging for resources and mana to cast Emrakul the Promised really, really fast. Um, and that's kind of like just the whole idea is that you are slowing the game down with your interactive spells. You are filling up the graveyard with Fact or Fiction. You are grinding your opponents out with Fact or Fiction. You can even cast this turn 2 if you go Labyrinth Talisman, kind of like how you could cast Jace the Mind Sculptor in the Eldrazi Turns build. And you just cast the bad boy. And it's been a pretty dang good formula so far. Like I mentioned, I had Counterspell in the lose focus slot for a while. That was kind of the missing piece where I was like, you really need a 2-mana interactive counterspell. Just too many color sources to actually play the card counterspell. But I found Loose Focus to be the best next option, where it usually counters most things early game for 2 mana, and then it's with you have a lot of talismans, and you're kind of a big mana deck. Then you're able to like pay for that replicate cost kind of in the late game, so it doesn't just like super fall off like Mana Leak super duper falls off. Ashiok getting better with Neoform in the format. This is also another reason to play this deck, is just being an 8 blue pitch deck that can contend with really anything with the Eldrazi stuff is like so nice in the Neoform format. It's pretty close. I think on the draw with the Force we're going to keep. Yeah, you could play All Is Dust on the board. I kind of chose to go with Explosives instead. Maybe All Is Dust is just the better direction. Did you see that the Warp Mechanic has been especially foiled? No. What does it do? Okay, we're on the draw against a Windswept Heath. The stark contrast between MH2 and MH3 power levels is astounding. I'm not complaining. The fact that Boros is just MH3 cards is primarily frustrating. Yeah, I remember I got a lot of pushback when I said that MH3 is like a much more powerful set than MH2. People did not want to hear that. Okay, so they go Portico, Heath, Solitude. And they say they're a big fan. So maybe a Birthing Ritual deck. It's a narrow. Yeah, I know it's narrow, but it just cleans up the 1-drops fast, which is something that you have a really hard time doing in this. It is really just I'm trying to clean up Guide Pride, Ragavan fast is just the entirety of it. Okay, so Warp is like Evoke. You can cast it from your hand for the Warp cost, then exile it at the end of your turn, and then you can cast it from exile later. Okay, very confusing. All right, they put a card on top. Could Ratchet Bomb be an option next to Explosives? It could be, of course. I don't want them to flare my Fact or Fiction, so let's lose focus here. Also seems like they're probably missing a land drop. Could main phase the Fact or Fiction, which is kind of heresy to try to find an imprintable, but now that we drew this, we're fine. We also kind of want to do this with Force of Negation up. Think of this like a super malevolent rumble. I A lot of types. Wait, they're going to give me Emrakul 4? I guess they're still thinking. Duh. So this would be Artifact, Instant in the yards. Emrakul would still cost 10. I mean, I would just snap off these 4. All right, let's take this pile. I think we just fire off a big K command. Untap Emrakul. Probably. Need to double count. It costs 10. We're going to have 10. It costs 10, and this is 4 plus 4. So we just keep the Eldrazi Temple. I guess we could keep Temple and Emrakul. And Lrien Revealed. Well, I guess I could keep Lrien Revealed now to have Force up, so we could go bottom the Temple. Since we don't need it to cast the Emrakul. This also, if I cycled it, it would be mana neutral because for the Emrakul, because it would reduce the cost. Not that I probably would ever cycle it here, just saying. So now I am going to have 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we'll be a mana short. Seems likely very fine to cast this, okay. Was indeed very fine. Thundertrap Trainin. We may want to wait for the ability to Emrakul with Force up. Is that important? I don't know. They do reveal a Flare of Denial. And then they ephemerate. Seems worth forcing. I think if I just Emrakul and they flare, that might be okay. I might draw something else to bait with. Is this what I want to bait with? I think I want to bait with the Nulldrifter instead. I think they probably will flare this, right? Maybe they don't, but I mean, even if they don't, it's just great to have this in play. Yeah. So nice 4-for-1, hard to keep track. Graveyard very full. Emrakul costs 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll be able to lose focus any counterspell here that they realistically could have. I think they're not playing the card actual counterspell in their deck. I think they usually play Charlotte's Agent. Gets the job done, lose focus. Alright, so we want the disputes. Force does counter Birthing Ritual. I don't know how scared of Birthing Ritual we are. Probably a little bit. Don't need to play very many. I think I want like one Chalice. Play one Dismember for the Oculi and Harbinger. Let's do this. Did you have Sorcery in the yard already? Would Lrien have gotten you there with a land drop? So it should be mana neutral, right? Because you tap a mana to get a mana, but then it also reduces. Oh, I guess it is. I guess it is +1. I guess it would have gotten us there. It's +1 if you don't have a land drop to play otherwise. You couldn't cycle because it works the top, yeah. Could Ratchet Bomb be better than EE? Well, I think Ratchet Bomb sucks. It is incredibly slow and even like dies a lot of times before you get to activate it. Explosives gets played and sacrificed the same turn against Pride, Guide, and Ragavan, which is what I want it to do. Ratchet Bomb doesn't do that, so there have been a few questions that ask exactly... this is like the second time someone has said exactly these words. Could this be better than Explosives? These are my thoughts on why I think the answer is no. Oh, baby, just drew the tempo. This is why I think the answer is no, but I think I actually do play it. If you have like a counter argument, I would sincerely love to hear. But these are my thoughts. They're training. How to train your otter. They brick. Bad otter. Yeah, Ratchet Bomb was better against Rhinos and Creativity, where you get to like you got to react for 0 mana instead of having to hold up the mana. I feel like we've gotten to show off the Fact or Fiction idea pretty well these last couple games. No, it's not the most complicated idea, but sometimes those are your best ones. It's like it's so much pressure on the cards in their hand. Also, like it doesn't get consigned, which is kind of funny. Fills up the yard for Emrakul. Like here, I could have Subtlety, Force, Loose Focus, K Command, or Fact or Fiction, or Sink into the Stupor. It's just like it's just such a nightmare for them to play around. And like, imagine getting Fact or Fiction, and this is the pile, dude. This is the pile. Yeah, I think I just let them put 4 types for my 2 Emrakuls in the yard. I do think our first K command's getting countered, and I think I'm not super likely to fight over it, but I might. That's why I played the Springs tapped. Okay, it did just resolve, and there's another Fact or Fiction. Yeah, let's take the Fact in the lab, and then I think I'm just gonna Fact again this turn. Imprint one of the Emrakuls. Yeah, someone said this recently, and I think it was the first time I had heard this take, but yeah, if K Command had been a sorcery, that would have been, or had like an extra colorless of the mana cost, just it being printed as is so silly. It's funny to see the way that most of the Jeskai Ascendancy decks are adopting Flage instead of Narset or VV. Since, well, yeah, we had Flage in a lot of our early drafts too. Flage is pretty busted. I've been wanting to play Narset and VV together for a little bit. It's kind of like on my to-do list, but I've got some other things that are a little bit higher on that list at the moment. All right, all the way down to 13. Getting beat up by Thundertrap Trainer. Let's see if they let this resolve. So this is another type we need in the yard. Surely they're not going to do this. Yeah, I don't think so. Take this pile. Definitely take this pile. Do I K command again? I think it's good to have a couple extra mana. You just say Kozilek's command is the most broken card in Modern at the moment. There's like 8-ish cards that are like around here, I think. Yeah, I think I should be happy to get to do this. Hard to say no to these also. So it's not. Can I double Emrakul? I think I can. Might be a little short actually. Plus 9, yeah, I guess I can't. So presumably this eats the first Consign. If it doesn't, they're in for some trouble, dude. This is fear of losing focus, I think. K Command is both versatile and powerful. That's what the other powerful cards don't have. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's a good point. What is the point? They're a control deck that is trying to use Birthing Ritual to chain together ETB creatures into like Abhorrent Oculus. You know, maybe I should just draw 3. What's the problem with drawing 3? Still have Subtlety up for Harbinger. Could sink a Harbinger. Okay. Didn't mill over any land or any artifact with those Factor Fictions. Cosmic Rebirth, a Thundertrap Trainer, sure. They do pick up a Consign. I do think I'm at least going to throw this Emrakul into the Consign. Oh, do I not have... I'm a little short of Hardcast Subtlety after this, but... So I probably should have just left this up to put this into my hand. But they've only got 4 Consigns. I think you just kind of power through them like this. DJ Crevice with a Twitch Prime, thank you. I guess if they have a Eternal Witness, this could be a little annoying. All the way down to 11. I don't think I evoke Subtlety there. Is Risen Reef nearly as good as Beans? Beans is the best card draw spell in the history of Modern. Nothing is nearly as good as it. I think I'm gonna run out of a Subtlety here as a blocker. Beans might be the best card draw spell ever behind Recall. It's better than Treasure Cruise in my opinion. I could sink this Flare. Have I pursued the Water Crystal Sphinx's tutelage build combo? The problem is you just lose if you play against Eldrazi, which has kind of put me off of the idea. Well, Psycho, Lrien Revealed on turn 9. Nurburg with the tier 1, thank you so much. And DJ Crevice with Twitch Prime, thank you all. Alright, let's just play around Ephemerates, I guess. Necropotence. Beans, I think, is like... I think Beans is better than Necropotence, although it's kind of hard to say that super confidently as someone who... I didn't play a lot of Necropotence, I guess. I guess maybe at its time, you compare it to its time in the formats, maybe. It's definitely not better than Treasure Cruise. It's so easily better than Treasure Cruise. I think it's like... It's almost just boomer attitude to say it's not. Peace and love, peace and love. Treasure Cruise instantly broke Modern, Legacy, Vintage. Beans broke Standard, Pioneer, Modern. Beans is also very good in Legacy, but it didn't break it. Cruise didn't break. Is Cruise still legal in Pioneer? Cruise was not banned in Standard, and Cruise I think is still legal in Pioneer, although it should be, so it should be, so maybe that point's not the best point. Dang, I'm 1 mana short of Otawaring my Subtlety and casting it again. I can't sync. Yeah, the fact that it's legal in Pioneer is not. It's just so silly. I would say Cruise is better. I mean, we could agree to disagree. I feel like it's not even close. I think that like Beans is like clearly the better card, but I think Cruise is better in Legacy and Vintage, but Beans is also better in Standard, Pioneer, and then maybe the tiebreaker. Can they reveal another Consign? Maybe they didn't have it, but and I've been holding this too long, and maybe we could just draw another Factor Fiction, huh? They may flare this. Cruise with sorcery speed recall. Well, it's like definitely much worse than that, and you know that. So I want this to get through the flare. He's so low on cards. What is better, you mean? Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to compare. I will say that, you know, on this channel we like to talk in the context of Modern mostly. And Beans was the best card draw spell ever illegal in Modern, in my opinion. In my opinion. Alright, so I think I just let the Solitude exile the Subtlety. It'll be very interesting if we end up in a lose focus versus consign fight. That'll be so fun. Yeah, Gataxian Probe's not a card draw spell, it's a cantrip. Also, Beans is better than Gataxian Probe in Modern. Beans is just unbelievable Modern card. Alright, so I think I go full send on this K command. They dispute. So that tapped them out pretty hard. So I think we actually just can lose focus through the consign here, especially because the Chalice deals with one of the consigns. So this costs 8, so we go tap. Yeah, so it should be pretty easy. Right in Clamp. I admittedly don't have a lot of experience playing with Clamp, so I can't tell you for sure, but I think probably. This is so funny, the lose focus versus consign. Alright, so they're gonna get 4 copies. So I need to spend 5 mana to counter all of these copies. So I need to replicate it. I even have Subtlety up. So this is targeting this one. This has been replicated 3 times. I guess I could have played around Force by replicating 3 more times. Eat your heart out, Mana League. Alright, what you got over there? I guess I can Otawara the Emrakul back to my hand. This Teferi is kind of annoying too. I could cast it and then Subtlety it, but I don't have the Otawara available. I guess I can just go Teferi and then Flare the Teferi. They did have the 4th Consign, by the way. Is there any way I could get a Consign trigger to happen? I could evoke the Subtlety and then I could make them consign the trigger. So I could basically trade Lrien Revealed and Subtlety for consign. Pretty sure saying Beans is better than Clamper Cruise is recently biased. I feel so strongly the opposite, but let's move the fuck on, please. I also I don't know about Clamp because I didn't play a lot when Clamp was around. Cruise is honestly, I think, nostalgia, or not nostalgia, but what is there an opposite of recency bias? Whatever the opposite of recency bias is. You know, one thing is, the second Cruise sometimes stuck in hand. Second Beans always insane. Cruise weak to graveyard hate. Beans weak to basically nothing in the format. There's almost no card in the format that's good against Beans. I guess I can replicate. Should it really matter? Because they're going to verdict anyways. Another thing is Beans also just draws more cards than Cruise. You could even just say that. It just draws more cards. Kind of weird they have verdict in against me. I guess maybe these situations come up. Bounce Solitude, pitch Verdict. Ooh. I guess I still can do that. But I've attacked with it. Alright, whatever. Just take it a hit. Oh, I could have Otawara before damage. It's okay. It's okay. I think I will exile the subtlety. You have to make at least one mistake when you Emrakul your opponent. Yeah, I think it's tough to say for sure, and like I don't think there's going to be a lot of like mind changing on this topic, but okay, imagine they top deck a Solitude, although we'd have a lot of draw steps with all the life gain. Yeah, is there a term for the opposite? Yeah, I could have bounced it before damage. I made a mistake there. Am I talking about the official spoilers from today? I could, yeah, if anybody wants to link them. Oh, I see. I guess I saw one from Leafblade here. Okay. When his creature enters, search your library for a plains or creature with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, cast this card from your hand for the warp cost, exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step. Then you can cast it from exile later on. So you can go on turn 3, warp this into play, ephemerate it, and search up 2 things, and it just stays in play. Oh, they drew the Emrakul! Oh, they drew Solitude for the Emrakul. Ugh. 1 turn late on the lose focus. So how many win conditions do I have left? I have an Emrakul. I do have 1 Emrakul left. I have 0 K commands or 1. I have 1 K command left. I should have still like 2 Nulldrifters. 2 Nulldrifters. But if they're too deep in the deck, it's going to be tough. Although if the K command kind of changes that. They reveal an Ice Fang. So they're kind of presenting a board. I actually need to counter the Ice Fang because of the Death Touch. Did 1 too many. Replicate 4 times. Should have bounced to Solitude with Teferi to leave Otawara in hand, but then they have Teferi in play. And if they draw Solitude, you just lose. I guess you have Otawara in hand. Maybe that is fine then. Very tough turn. Yeah, I mean this plus Ephemerate seems pretty strong. I haven't seen the new Goyf. Has it been? I've heard there's a new Goyf. I've heard that it's a leak. We don't talk about leaks here. Oh, you can also Felly at the warp cards. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we've drawn only mana sources. We have 1 more turn. It's official. Well, link it to me if it's official. I know there's a spoiler stream, so it's kind of tough to keep up. Wait, why? I thought the streams were on Wednesdays. Isn't it Tuesday? Okay, we draw only mana sources. We could have played the Emrakul turn better. On the play for game 3. Let's just get in there. Although, I think I still want to keep in the Dismember. Okay, Cosmogoyf. What the fuck? Look at the art, dude. This card had better be good. Power of toughness equal to the number of cards you own in exile. And its toughness. Oh, cards you own in exile. Could work with that. It's really nice, like, so, like, you know, let's thinking about it. It's weird that it does not work with Tarmogoyf at all. You don't ever play both cards in the same deck. It gets rid of Tarmogoyf's big downside. That is, if your opponent has a Rest in Peace or a Relic, like, they just make your creature tiny. It's like immune to hate. Yeah, go with Ketramos decks. Good with Psychic Frog, Sultai Psychic Frog. Good card. I think it's like at least interesting enough to think about. It's very funny when I see all these comments like it's better than Tarmogoyf, it's worse than Tarmogoyf, and I get to look at it and weigh in, I guess. But I'll say this: it's probably better than Tarmogoyf. And when I said the new Jitte is better than Umezawa's Jitte, people got mad at me. But this is just because the bar is really, really low. It's not because these cards are good. They've game 1. Oh, this is game 3. I mean, if they're gonna consign this, this is fine. But you know what I mean? It's like the bar is very low to be better than Tarmogoyf in Modern. This card, it piques my interest a lot more than Tarmogoyf does. And kind of the same thing was true for Umezawa's Jitte. This might be the new best card advantage in Modern. Okay, when this enters, draw a card. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many +1. Holy shit. Okay, our ephemerate stocks are going up, 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 up. I have every promo affinity or ephemerate card. I have just all of the nice versions. and I'm finally getting paid off for it, I guess. Not that I ever sell any cards. Oh, sorry, I meant to keep the stupid Lrien Revealed to pitch. Yeah, I mean, this seems insane with an Ophelia ephemerate deck. Maybe it's easy to break up. You know, sorcery speed card draw like this also. Like it cuts a 4/6 flyer draw. Oh my gosh. The thing is, it's like sorcery speed card draw like this is, you know, this maybe should go without saying, but it's very weak to Bowmaster. But it's a 4/6 flyer that like sometimes draws more cards too if you top deck it. It's insane. It's also only 5 mana to hardcast. Okay, so we have 6 types in the yard now, so Emrakul costs 7. The fact that this is only 5 mana to hardcast is ridiculous. So yeah, Warp it's like Evoke, except it sacrifices end of turn instead of immediately, and you can cast it for its normal cost the next turn. You know what? It's very rare that I see a comment from like Leafblade here. I think this might be the best new card advantage engine in Modern, and that's true. I agree that this might be the best new card advantage engine in Modern. Okay, so they only have 1 mana up, so they can't consign the full Emrakul. Okay, we even have Rebuke up. Wait, it's any future turn? I thought it was only next turn. Okay, Warp is broken. Edge of Eternities is actually already more impactful to Modern than Final Fantasy, just like with the cards we've seen, I think. Oh, opponent. The Emrakul hasn't resolved yet. It exiles instead of sacks in a turn. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, New Goyf looks really fun, I agree. Seems like an Abzan Ketramos rock deck. It stinks that it doesn't go well with Nethergoyf or Tarmogoyf. Long match there. It goes well with Plunge. Plunge, plunge, plunge. Which Plunge? It kind of works with Nethergoyf because of the escape. Yeah, maybe. It's unlikely. Oh, you know what? Oh wait, New Goyf goes with Necro. You Necro with the New Goyf, and then your Goyf is just like so big. I feel like that's pretty interesting. Yeah, Frog also, which also goes well with Necro. I think I'm gonna Talisman this turn. Yeah, Detective's Phoenix, good idea. Can exile like your whole graveyard if you want. Dang, dude, we've seen like 3 Edge of Eternity spoilers, and they're very exciting. I need to go into a hyperbolic time chamber until August 1st. Have we discussed new UFOs told us awful before? It seems better than Tarmogoyf, but that's mostly because Tarmogoyf sucks. So not like a very high bar to clear. Scion of Draco, okay. So yeah, not a very high bar to clear, but I think better than Tarmogoyf. Do I want to upkeep and like make them tap for stuff? I don't think so. But yeah, this card is very interesting with Detective's Phoenix. It's very interesting with Psychic Frog. It's very interesting with Necrodominance. It's interesting in like Catrimos Relic Shells. Like all of these things are powerful and cool and interesting. So I'm definitely hyped. Do I want a Chalice on one? I think yes is the answer to that question. Do I want to go Talisman of the Chalice? I think yes again. Yeah, it might not be like a mod. It's very unlikely to be the new Tarmogoyf in the sense that it's a modern staple that dominates the format, but I think the card is very powerful with a lot of good existing modern cards. It's very unique. And then it also like it's just like you can't turn Ketramos back off when it turns on. It's not like you could graveyard hate your way against this. Like that is one big problem with Nethergoyf and Tarmogoyf is if your opponent has graveyard hate, it instantly just ignores your creatures. But this, like, there's nothing like that for this, you know? There's not, your opponents are going to play cards to put stuff back in the graveyard for you. I think it's going to get a lot better than that. Is opponent on Rhinos? I think they're on Domain Zoo. I guess they could be on Rhinos, but I think they're on Domain Zoo, and so this is stopping Stubborn Denial, Bolt, Ragavan, and Wildecatl. I just want to hit my land drop this turn. I don't think that's going to be the case. So I think what I'm going to do is go like this. I'm going to top Force of Negation and Subtlety and just plan on Emrakuling my opponent next turn with both of them up. Yeah, it could be Domain Rhinos, but I don't know. I don't think the lands that we've seen are a tell at the moment. The White Warp Angel is also a wizard. It's not probably going to be a Flame of Anor deck, but it is interesting. Does the White Angel, does it get any planes, or is it a basic planes? Can't remember. Okay, it is Domain Zoo. So if they have Binding, I guess we could be in some trouble. Wait, am I one short? No, exactly enough. Yeah, we'll need to go through all the spoilers. Let's try to get through this this match at least. I may be too excited. Yeah, Quantum Riddler seems so fun. Huh. Not just dead. I think I am supposed to just get a Flage out of their hand. I can Subtlety the next Flage. Dang, Leyline Binding. Okay, so we've got Multunious Massacre. Odd or even, destroy each creature with the mana value of chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures till end of turn. Huh. I mean, obviously not a modern card. 1 mana Robot. Exile an artifact card from your graveyard, put a counter on this creature, then deal damage equal to its power to any target. Whenever you put one or more counters on a creature you control, draw that many cards. Do this once each turn. Okay, that card is sick. Elgi Acolyte, 4 mana, 4/4 lifelink. Whenever a black creature, whenever one or more creature you control, deal combat damage to a player, draw a card, lose a life. Then void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, make a robot. Wait, how can I not? Oh, it just strings them. Okay, there's Thrumming Hive Pool. This card's pretty cool. It's 6 mana, affinity for Slivers. Slivers have double strike and haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, make 2 1/1 Sliver tokens. Make a lander token. So new token type, 2 mana tap, sack this token, search your library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield. So it is a rampant growth token. Yeah, I guess I just can't factor fiction into anything here. Yeah, they really cooked with this set, though. I think Chalice is good enough against them to want 3 copies, probably. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe we'll just play 2. Maybe play 3 consigns. Let's just do 3 consigns. Okay, so here's the Eldrazi. I mean, I'm off. This is, I don't know. It's just too hard to keep up with what's not, I guess. 6 mana, 7/5. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. So you can do that for 4 mana. You get to draw a card too. It's weird in Eldrazi because in Eldrazi you're playing like Talisman, Sprawls, Lab, Temple, so you're not going to have a super high quantity of lands in play. It's also a 6-drop, so it doesn't imprint to Ugin's Labyrinth. So what is it? What's good to put into play? Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, it also puts it into play. So it puts it into play so you don't get cast triggers from stuff like Writhing Chrysalis. This is maybe like just a non-Eldrazi card. Maybe you would play it in like some of like the K command builds. You know, like this is like a value card. Could you play like a K command Ephemerate deck? Maybe like mono white K command with Solitude. It's interesting. Exalted Sunborn, 5 mana, 4/5. If one or more tokens would be created, make twice that many, and it warps. So you can. This one's maybe not as good to ephemerate since it's so fragile. Although I guess it doesn't actually die to that much. I think I'm gonna play the Sink tapped on 1. So many cards. Whenever this or another artifact you control enters, gain a life. Beginning of your end step, if you've gained, draw a card if you've gained 3 or more life, and it warps for 1. So you play this, you ephemerate it, and then it's creature or artifact enters. You play this, you ephemerate it. You play any other creature. I guess that's tough to do on turn 2. Oh my gosh, warp is insane. When it enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value X or less from your graveyard, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So this is at the very least a Savine's Reclamation. If you ephemerate it, you don't get the effect, which is probably one of these has a failsafe, I guess. Definitely worth thinking about still. There are... Okay, wait. What are these? What is this? Tap another creature you control, put a charge counter equal to its power on this spacecraft. Add X mana of any one color or X's number of charge counters. And then you need 20 plus charge counters? Is that what this means? It must be, right? So there's a... Wait, this is just a land? So this turns into a Talisman Academy if you put 12 charge counters on it. It's not an artifact. Y'all know how much I love charge counters. You have to get... I mean, getting 12 counters on something like this is not out of the. It's not that crazy with like constructs and stuff, but it seems very slow. Oh, it's also like annoyingly 1 mana worse than Talisman Academy. Why is this blue? Why is this here? Who put this here? Why is 1 less blue mana matter? Come on, that didn't need to be there. It's balanced now. It's balanced. You have to filter a blue. This is so much to digest. The Savine's deck, Warp can get back 0 drops with the right? I mean, that's true, so you can get back fetch lands, right? Those cards are bad indeed. They're interesting. Like, this is just a land, you know. This is also a 5-drop that taps for 3 colorless mana. Like, that isn't uninteresting by itself. Like, the quality of mana rocks in Modern is really low. The quality of mana rocks in Modern is really low, and so like whenever you have one like this, I think it's something to take a little peek at. Okay, I don't want to play Disturb, so let's replicate. Oh, sorry, I guess replicating is good against counter magic, but I guess we maybe would have wanted to target something else. What is this one? This is also a land. If you have 12 or more counters, you can pay 2 life, second creature, draw cards equal to its power, activate only as a sorcery. The art on these also, it looks so cool. It's so cool. I hereby declare Marvel canceled, and we're now just edging on Eternity all day and all night. Okay, so this imprints to Ugin's Labyrinth. Red alert. Only 5 counters, it becomes a flying trample 10/10. When it enters, destroy a non-creature permanent. And then it deals 4 damage to each creature. Wow. Not an Eldrazi, and it costs 8, so you know, we've kind of learned our lesson with those cards with the new Ugin. Still kind of impressive. This card is insane. Quantum Riddler. This card is so broken. Okay, this makes the rampant growth tokens. Someone said there was a red-green card I skipped over, but I don't think they're talking about that one. This Tezzeret is, we already read this one. This one's exciting. More implications with the charge counters too. Okay, what do we want here? Gotta be these two, I think. Yeah, Warp Birthing Ritual. Man. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. So this is like that one commander card, like the 4-mana one, and then at the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, sack it, put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2 counters. Interesting. The Lander Bug also pings for 2 with each artifact sacrifice. Okay, let me read that again. Whenever you sack, I guess I just read the token. Whenever you sack an artifact, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Don't think that part's super interesting. Is there a single deck Spike has played in the last month or so without K command in it? Yeah, you could take a look at the Mox field. This is not played yet. We're about to play it. This one had K command in it, but then we just played Aerith combo in challenge yesterday. We went 4-2. We've been playing mono white Caretaker's Talent. This had K command in it. Damn it. Rakdos Cecil's been a pretty impressive build that we've been working on. It's been going pretty well. We had a trophy with this. We were started off like 10-1 with it. Updated Catcher Most Control, no K command. We had different Caretaker's Talent with K command. I'd say most didn't have it. I think we passed this turn. 2 damage on every treasure bauble seems pretty good. Against what? Like there's like this little thing sitting in play and dealing 2 damage of bauble. I don't know. Maybe it's better than I think, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the kind of deck that usually gets there. Like it's like an Oni Cult Anvil, you know. Guess we keep another one of these. Shout out Mana Leak. Shout out Rebound. Guess they could consign this, maybe. Jath, the 26th. Thank you. Welcome back. Good news, Edge of Eternity seems pretty busted. Or maybe bad news, I don't know. News. So we could have cast Emrakul by cycling a Lrien Revealed, which would have given us a land and put another type in the yard, but we just drew this instead. Yeah, and maybe I'm undervaluing that card. There's just a lot going on, a lot to digest. It might actually end up being way better than I think. How am I excited for New Goyf Serum Powder? I don't know if Serum Powder is a card I'm necessarily excited for it. I think I'm more excited for probably Surveil if they have a Surveil land left. Okay, they don't. Although we'll shock, so Emrakul is lethal. I'm like more excited for it with Psychic Frog, Relic, Ketramos decks, Detective's Phoenix, exiling your whole graveyard and giving it flying and haste, and maybe Necro, drawing a lot of cards and putting a lot of cards into exile at the end of your turn. Those are like the four cards the four things I'm mostly interested in with the New Goyf. But I do think the New Goyf is like interesting enough to brew around in Modern, which is not something you can say about Tarmogoyf. Oh yeah, should have exerted Arena. Oh my gosh, should have exerted Arena. We're not dead. Yeah, sorry. I'm just talking too much about the new set, I guess. Talisman ping. Sorry. Be kind of interesting. Do they put me to 3 in attack? Probably should. Urk with it 4 years. Yeah, I do remember COVID. I got it twice. Very tough to play super tight with while I'm edging on Eternity. How do you think Neoform could potentially be broken with Warp? Maybe. Could potentially be broken now. Okay, I think they messed up pretty bad by not attacking me here, because now I can just Emrakul them and play another Emrakul. So Emrakul costs 8. I have 4. I have 9, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can play a Talisman. Dude, Edge of Eternity is really exciting. So the hand is Fable, the new card. It's a Territorial Kavu. This is a 5/5. So I will exert this time. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Ping, sack. Y'all remember Gigantha? Modern is really a lot better without that card. Did I see the warp card that doubles counters? Yeah. There's a lot to digest here. The best one by a really significant amount, I think, is the card draw Sphinx. That card seems really, really, really absurd. I think we're going to game 3. It's a lot to digest. Edge of Eternities, even without seeing the full set, seems like... It seems much stronger than Final Fantasy. It might even be as strong as Dragonstorm. Maybe stronger. Okay, opponent decides to take the 13. What the red-green 2 damage per product leaves with Asmo, so you can sack 6 food D12. Yeah, I mean but that's 6 mana. That requires your 2 mana creature to live. And so maybe I'm underrating it, but it's like when it's like, okay, if I spend 6 mana over the course of 3 turns or 2 turns as my 2 mana creature lives, then I can kill my opponent. But the problem is if they kill your 2 mana creature, it can be hard to have like backup plans maybe. Although maybe that's not the case with like Monument to Endurance. Maybe like Monument to Endurance just gives you a Galvanic Blast, could give you the reach. So I promise I will not dismiss this card completely. You can green Sun Zenith for it too. But I'm a little bit worried about these kind of cards that just like sit and play and they have to deal all the damage by themselves, especially in the MH3 life gain format. The Warp Dragon seems to go with haste. Oh, you get Arena of Glory, the Warp cards, can't you? Oh my gosh, the Warp stuff's crazy. I'm missing something. What's so strong about draw an extra card if you would draw a card when you heck bent? Okay, that's not what's strong about it. What's strong is you can go turn 3, play this, draw a card, ephemerate it, draw another card, then you have a 4/6 in play that is a flyer. You've drawn 2 cards, you get to draw another card on rebound, and if you're hellbent during any of those moments, you draw an extra card. It's broken on turn 3 with ephemerate. It's not really doing anything else. Do we keep this on the draw against Domain Zoo? I like that Lab is live to draw Emrakul. I like if they don't have Ragavan, we can usually go like Subtlety their first play into lose focus. I think I do keep this on the draw. Oh, the dragon just has haste. Crazy. Oh, it's 1 or less. Say less. I'll be honest, I was not expecting to ever see lose focus in Modern. Yeah, me neither, but it ended up just being, I feel like, a perfect fit for this deck. Or maybe perfect fit isn't the best word, but it's just the best possible fit. Alright, I think I don't want to play K command X equals 1 very often here, and I guess Charmal wouldn't be online if I played this, but just hold up the lose focus here. Weird they didn't have a 1 or 2 mana creature and they capped. So good, high chance of Charmal, I think. I was really trying to make Counterspell work and like try to figure out like the right balance of talismans and stuff, and then I'm like, I'll just play lose focus. And then my win rate went up. If only I had Factor Fiction in my hand. Beanstalk Band and Standard make a lot more sense. Yeah. So they have a Consign in their hand, like for sure if they pass. Do I just trade it for this? Okay, it seems like they're casting a Flames. Okay, why would they tap the Lounge? Their hand seems to suck, chat. Their hand seems to be garbage. I'm getting the vibe. They probably have a Charmal, so I think I'll just keep both of these. Maybe it wasn't correct to keep the 3rd Subtlety. The thing is, I think I'm just gonna play this, and then I think they're gonna cast Charmal, and then I'm just gonna deal them some psychic damage here. I'm just gonna cast the Charmal, and then I'm just gonna keep Subtletying Charmal over and over and over again, and just lock them out. Yeah, so worked out. Like, how do they can they put this on the bottom? The rest of their hand is awful. Yeah, they put it on top. Now, this is Tempo. Y'all don't know anything about Tempo. Tempo is 4 subtleties against a Domain Zoo player who only has 3 mana creatures. I can't define Tempo, but I know it when I see it. They put it back on top. Of course they do. It's the best possible card here. Imagine they cast 2 bolts this turn. Oh, you know what? That was a mistake to play the lab. Now I let them have an extra mana. They put it on the bottom! Funny. My one regret is I didn't need the 4th subtlety after all. 2-0. I think I keep on the draw on the blind anyways. I do have an Emrakul on the board. If my opponent plays a Hedron Crab, I guess we don't just concede, but... They put it on the bottom. I guess we do this main phase. I do have the 15-mana Emrakul on the board, so that should help some. No Archive Trap helps. Alright, so I'm at 6 types already for Emrakul. I have land, instant sorcery, kindred, artifacts. And apparently I have another type. Oh, there's artifact, land, instant sorcery, kindred, creature. So Emrakul's not getting any cheaper. My opponent misses their 3rd land. I guess we need to keep the ball rolling, as it were. So now, after we play the Temple, we'll be too short. So maybe K Command will get us there. Maybe we'll draw another double land. Opponent seems like they're thinking about Surgical and Emrakul. Oh, so maybe it was good to hide an Emrakul underneath the lab this turn. I didn't really think about drawing it. We got K Command and Loose Focus both can beat a Surgical, so they draw 1. Dude, if we win game 1 against Spell, then we get to bring in Emrakul. Forget about it. Yeah, it just tells you the number here for the types. If you have a card that cares about it, it just pops up. So if they have Surgical, they'll Surgical now. They cycle the Fractured Sanity again. We're losing focus. We're hideously laughing. Our sanity's getting fractured. Just a normal day here. This can't target yourself, right? You can target yourself with Glimpse. So I could play Crab and drown the Crab. Seems like I just want to make them mill 10 and then fetch Fail to Find. Can take a look at the list too. So you have a Cephalid Coliseum, 1 Crypt Incursion, 3 main deck Surgical. They have a Phyrexian Jace, a Murderous Cut. What else do they have? Not really anything, huh? Emrakul's got Pro Instant, so they can't drown it. I'm not even sure that Emrakul has lungs. Would you perform CPR on Emrakul if it was drowned in a lock? Make sure to like and share. They think they can drown Emrakul? Guess not. Interesting they didn't catch the Tashas. I feel like their best chance was to like Tashas and like draw another one. So they're going to cast the Crypt Incursion. Alright, well. I almost conceded just to go to the Emrakul games. or I should say that the thought crossed my mind. We actually have some extra good ones. We got the rest of the Chalices. We have the Disputes. This matchup's actually probably just good post-board. And I think I'm just going to cut the Factor Fictions. Like, this card is not good against Mill. Not good against Mill. All right. Let's get there. Can you talk about the Fact or Fiction choice? Seems like a card that's been lingo for a while, not played. It just fits this archetype really well, where you get to hold up Lose Focus, Sync, Subtlety, Force, K-Command, and then it's just really important that if you're going to play this like really instant speed control style of Eldrazi, that you have a powerful card advantage in a card draw spell. Fact is better than Deluge, not only because of the single blue cost, but it also fills up the graveyard for Emrakul. So it's kind of like, you could think of it maybe like your blue Malevolent Rumble. That's kind of how I've been thinking about it to some extent. It's just while playing into the game plan better here than like Rumble would, or in a similar way that Rumble plays into the game plan of the other builds. Yes, it is legal. It was printed in MH2, I believe. Okay, so that's pretty good since it's going to stop an Emrakul trigger. Yeah, we've had a lot of questions about Lose Focus, but I mean, the simple answer is Lose Focus is the best option. We have a lot of blue. It's just very weird, right? We want a 2-mana counterspell. We have a lot of blue sources, so we can pay for the replicate, but we don't have enough blue sources that it's easy to. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play the island here. We don't have enough blue sources that it's easy to have counterspell on turn 2. I was playing actual counterspell this for a bit. Remand sucks against all the 1-drops in the format. Okay, Surgical Dispute, that's fine. Then knowing my hand is kind of tough, but I don't care about this really. And Mana Leak scales poorly into the late game when it doesn't have to. Also, Lose Focus, it let us beat they consigned replicated 4 times, and we just replicated 4 times on our Lose Focus and resolved our Emrakul. So like there isn't a better counterspell for the deck, and I know it's like kind of weird because it's not a card y'all have seen, but it just does fit our requirements kind of perfectly. Do I think Fact or Fiction is better than Winternight Stories in an Eldrazi ramp shell? There might be a build of Eldrazi that could utilize Winternight Stories better than Fact or Fiction, but again, in this deck that it's basically all instant speed interaction, I certainly want to play. This is certainly the build I want to go with. Opponent's playing Mill. Tempo. Okay, we have a bunch of sinks in the deck, I guess. They do put the Ruin Crab on top, so I guess this turn let's just go ahead and lock that out. I guess I want to cycle this main phase so that I could counter an Archive Trap, and I could go next turn Lrien Revealed with Lose Focus up. Yeah, they did put it on top. So I have... They might Surgical my sinks, I guess. Not a lot we could do about that. So I can go 4 mana to Otawara. And then I can't just Lose Focus it on the way down now. So I think I'll just set up for this end of turn. Yeah, well, we also had a bunch of sinks, but yeah. Not a bad out. Oh, Surgical's offline because of the Chalice. We don't need to worry about... We didn't need to worry about Sync getting Surgical. Was the choice of Fiction instead of Deluge due to Emrakul? Yeah, I said that, but also the single blue pip does... It's like kind of a nice upside too. You're pretty good at casting double blue, but sometimes you do go like Lab, Talisman into Eldrazi Temple. It's kind of narrow, I guess. Should be pretty easily able to play this. Missed this. Why are you excited about Quantum Riddler? I'm gonna ephemerate it. I'm gonna play it turn 2. I'm gonna ephemerate it. I'm gonna have a bunch of cards. I'm gonna have a 4/6 flyer. I'm also just gonna top deck and cast it for 5 mana. I'm gonna Ephelia it. Alright, so now I could just let the thing resolve, maybe. Well, I guess I could counter it too if they don't play a land. Wait, they're drawing a card off the lantern? Did I Emrakul them? Why did they do that? Did I mind control them to do that somehow? Dude, countering a split-second card always feels amazing. Few feelings better in Magic than countering a split-second card. Why are they feeding cards to Chalice? To get their hand empty for the Ensnaring Bridge. Guess I don't have the sync up now. That's probably fine. Alright, let's get a trophy prediction going. Alright, single blue pip mattering here. Turn 2 Factor Fiction. Too bad I'm on the draw. Although now we could cast double blue. Although, you know, next turn we can have turn 2, assuming this resolves, turn 2 Subtlety and Fact Up. I think Esther's making like a leak. I think we have leaks in the crock pot right now. So I guess I can update my opinion of leaks after that. Alright, so we're playing in some kind of VV deck probably. Could be the Jeskai Narcitizen list, but I do think most people want to play VV because that's the new hotness. Okay, cannot Subtlety a Steel Cutter. Yeah, I think I would like be pretty interested in hardcast Subtletying on a VV, so despite it being kind of painful on my life total to shock this in or bolt this in. There's a new Through the Breach sorcery. I haven't seen that. This set is really exciting. Interesting tank. You got a lot of blue mana up. So taking 2. Alright, so they're going to make a Saga token probably. Back to Fiction. Weird pile here. I think I'm taking this pile. 4 red, so it's 6 mana through the Breach creature artifact. When it does, it deals X damage based on the mana value of each creature. 6 mana is tough, dude. Can't remember, but I recall a pro saying he took the pile of cards, a pile of 3 cards 100% of the time, no matter what they were. Well, that's not how you should play it, but should never do anything 100% of the time in Magic. Scary. Magic pros are known for being hyperbolic. You know, that's true, and I feel like I'm just such the opposite. I always try to be I tried not to be hyperbolic, although I guess I am sometimes. We should pitch the Lrien Revealed, actually. So I think I'm going to go make spawns and exile the constructs. They put the Emery on the top. We get lightning bolted, not galvanic blasted. So this is going to be 9 plus 3. So I'm going to go to 1. If I don't do any blocking, I'd probably put a spawn here, I guess. I guess I could go... I guess I can't factor fiction too. Does seem like we're going to lose. Go down to 4. Because they only have 1 card in their hand. We might get out of this. Not a bad draw. I think there's a good chance they have a VV in their hand. So maybe we just need them to draw a land this turn. We can stabilize. Okay, I was right about the VV, so let's play the Subtlety. Would love for them to put this on top, obviously. They put it on the bottom. Kind of funny to put the 3 mana spell on the bottom on this turn. They do have another spell though, it seems. Or maybe they're thinking about equipping. Oh yeah, I think they're. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Are they trying to tap the Mox Amber and equip the Quarry Steelcutter? That's certainly like our only chance here. They Unholy Heat my spawn. They make another token. I can block. One of the tramplers, one of the non-tramplers takes 6. Okay, that. No, they didn't keep the Emery on top. It's also a little weird not to keep Emery on top with the Steel Cutters. Like, it's kind of like a 2 spells by itself if it resolves. So the explosives on 0 can be kind of weird with the chalices. I think I'll just try to keep forces in. The disputes. Chalice on 0, pretty good against them. Maybe this is too many chalices. I guess I do want a chalice on 0 and a chalice on 1. No, it's not too many chalices. Let's go down to like 2 subtleties. Trim a talisman, I think. Oh, you probably want the Dismember also. Can trim a Nulldrifter, can trim a FoF. I guess probably just 3 forces, even though it's our cleanest answer to Steel Cutter. It's not really too good against much else. And we also have loose focus on the play for Steel Cutter. Don't you just pay colorless? I'm confused what the question is. There's a new Panharmonicon that can be warped for 1 blue. I saw that one. Yeah, the warp is one of these mechanics that's like, you know, not super interesting in standard if you don't have 1 mana flicker effects. I don't think standard does. And then in modern, which is like the Ophelia Ephemerate format, it's like crazy. Yeah, I listen to music while I stream. I don't like to play it on stream because it's a lot to curate. You got copyright issues, and then people are not always going to like my music taste. So if you want background music, it's just better to let you curate it. Right now, I'm listening to a Disco Bellaccio remix. Standard has a 1 mana flicker. I guess the sorcery speed ones do work. Warp is just good. Yeah, that's another thing, is Warp is also just very powerful. The fact that you can cast it whenever afterwards is really silly. Yeah, it's... Yeah, these cards are crazy strong. Yeah, like playing the 4/6 flyer and warping this in standard, surely that's going to be really strong, right? Can I share my playlist? No. Sorry. I need to establish boundaries. Yeah, new set's really exciting. Alright, on the play. Keep. I think I want that first chalice to be on 0. Obviously, land would be nice. Talking about the Warp Haste Dragon. The one that deals 1 damage to a creature. I don't know if that one's that exciting. Although maybe there's a different one I didn't see. So this could be Bolt, this could be Consign. Let's just draw the untapped land. You know what? I'll take a Lrien Revealed. It's okay. I don't need it. I don't need the untapped land. I was too greedy. Doom never draw land number 2. It's been a long league, dude. It's been a long league. Take your time. Take your time. Sure, you got lots of choices here. How far away is this deck from becoming a Karuga deck? Pretty far. They didn't replicate. Like, it's... Like, Karuga is just, like, I think significantly worse than getting to play 2-mana counter magic and getting to play K. Okay, we're playing K command. We must play. we must play. No Karuga. It's weird how long they're tanking on every decision here. You can play explosives on 0 around Chalice by playing colorless menace instead of Sunburst. That's not the problem. The problem is that your explosives on 0 kills your Chalices. But I do know that. Alright, plays the Saga. They're a tanker. I don't know, you know. I'm gonna force this. How many decision points can they have? It's crazy. Yeah, maybe reading spoilers. Y'all got any more of them spoilers? Alright, the set comes out when? The set comes out on the 4th? When does it drop a Magic Online? Is it the 29th of this month or the 5th of next month? Usually it's on a Tuesday. I know the official release is supposed to be on the August 1st, right? Pre-release is the 24th? Literally, how is my opponent still thinking here? Okay, they cast a Haywire Might. Alright, I don't draw the land again. They might, and they target the Chalice, not the Talisman. I guess that's good news for me. So they're probably going to play some zeros here. There's a Bauble. There's another Bauble. And there's an Opal. An unbelievable amount of time to have been taking for the hand that they had. Truly a spectacular feat. All right, we divination. Can we find our second land? We do find our second land. Can't say it's right on time. But I can say that it's right here. They're going to make some big constructs. They're going to draw some more cards. Save me, Fact or Fiction. They decided not to crack this Bauble. So there's downtime on the 23rd. And then... So it should come out on the 29th. Wow, it comes out 3 weeks from today? Wow, it's so fast. It's going to be really exciting time, too. Emery's pretty good. Surprised there aren't more spoilers. Well, there's the release schedule has been kind of weird, yeah. Reminds me of Blue Tron. Could the mana base be worked to add maps and a Tron mana base? Could. It's a lot of cards. That's 12 Tron lands. That's 4 expedition maps. That's 16 cards. None of these tap for blue. And so like you're eating into your blue lands and you're eating into your talisman. So like, of course, the blue cards become much harder to support. Okay, I'm going to concede. Okay, the draw is quite good. All right, not trophying. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Just what you're signing. I think I got to keep Double Temple. It's all mana, but we can also go like Sync on turn 3 into Lrien Revealed turn 4. Okay, we're on the play against a Devourer of Destiny. I think I would keep this against a Devourer of Destiny. Consult the star charts. I don't know any of the card names yet, but if you remind me, I can maybe give some feedback. But yeah, it was like we had a mono blue build of Tron that's like that build is more sorcery based. So you're playing Portent of Calamity, which is better with your Tron lands. You're playing Stock Up, which is better with your Tron plan. And you're not playing all these like reactive castable instants because you can't cast them. Yeah, we're playing Ugin too. Okay, we'll wait for the full spoiler then. Getting seen. Chalice? Talisman? Okay, Chalice in 1. That's great. We're playing Chalice also. So we're probably playing against a Tron build. They probably have maps in their deck, right? Juliet, the 32. Like, welcome back. Glad you're still liking the stream. Draw 3. I've had better 3-card piles, I guess. Had worse. Unkicked Micah Spawn. Getting a 3rd Eldrazi Temple. Come on. Nulldrifter, Emrakul, K-Command, Factor Fiction. I guess Emrakul is still we're still a ways away, but... Alright, pass back. Alright, I did ask for that. Okay, play this tapped. This costs 11. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 11 next turn if we don't get Stone Rained. There's an Urza's Power Plant. Their hand is 2 Devourer of Destinies and 4 mystery cards. Oh, sorry, and a Talisman, green Talisman. Which they could have played last turn. Right. Maybe not. Maybe not. Fun. Am I going to lose focus the Talisman? I guess so. I guess not, actually. We'll save it for a Karn or a K-Command. Alright, Factor Fiction, K-Command, Lrien Revealed, Nulldrifter. Talisman's actually pretty good. This lets me Emrakul next turn. Not sure how effective the Emrakul will be if they play a Devour this turn. We're going to go down to 12, and then we send this in here. I guess it's going to be pretty effective. Let me double check that I have enough, right? This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I guess I also have to bolt in the sink. Will we get a Serum Powder Cosmic Wave deck? So Serum Powder is not super high on the list of cards that I want to pair with it, although maybe you could play a Serum Powder, Ketramos, Cosmic Wave deck. I'm a lot more likely to play Cosmic Wave with Detective's Phoenix, with Psychic Frog, with Necrodominance, and with like Relic Ketramos stuff. I like the Japanese foil ephemerates, but I have all of them. Another player playing at blistering speeds here. They can't have that many choices. Two of their 5 cards are Devourer of Destinies. Here we go. They've made a choice. Not something uncounterable. No, they have to reconsider their choice here. What about Slime against Humanity and Cosmic Wave? I'm like super unlikely to register Slime against Humanity if I'm trying to build a good deck. I did one time register that card for fun. So I guess I do that occasionally. Alright, perfect. Slow down there. Take your time. Stack those triggers. I know it can be kind of annoying on Magic Online. Alright, counter. Squelch. Am I gonna watch the spoiler stream? I don't know if I can get my Pog face, ready in time. So I'm down to 6. Gonna be kind of unclear how well this will stabilize for us. 2 of their cards are Devourer of Destiny. I would love for them to have a K command. I could target myself with it. Oh, yes, they do have one. Yeah. So I'm going to want to leave a card that I don't mind getting taken by Thought-Knot Seer on top. So I guess I'll leave the Eldrazi Temple on top, and then I think we just keep another Emrakul, but it doesn't actually seem like it's going to do a lot. I'm actually going to keep the Factor Fictions. Might as well play this on 0. Okay. So they Seer my Chalice. Their hand is Devour, Devourer, a mystery card. Devour is just getting Stone Rained for forever by these spawns. Three, 4, 5 mana. Wait, they drew another Myco spawn? I guess that doesn't really matter much. It does get them Tron, so that could make some top decks problematic. I guess I just attack and pass with Factor Fiction up, and then if they draw a card I care about, there's a Subtlety underneath the Factor Fiction that I can grab, and maybe if I need to get Force instead, although I don't know, I guess that would be for a K command. I can dig for that, so I could just know what I need to dig for at instant speed. So their hand is 2 Devourer of Destinies. They do have Tron. The Devourers are basically vanilla 6/6s. They cost 7 mana. Right. And so we get to be a Consign deck. I might bring in the Aeons Torn also. So obviously I'm cutting my Chalices. I think Lose Focus is worse than Force of Negation. Just most of the things you want to lose focus have cast triggers, and then Force can hit Karn and K command when you're tapped out. I guess Subtlety is probably worse than both of those. Subtlety is good against exactly Thought-Knot Seer, and if they don't have Cavern, Lose Focus is probably better. Let's bring in the Aeons Torn. I feel like these games go really long, and you can just set up for K command into Emrakul sometimes. Enough of the time. All right, beautiful turn 2 Factor Fiction. They're devouring their destiny twice again. They exile a Karn and All's Dust, which probably shouldn't have stayed in the deck post-board. Not exactly a blank piece of cardboard because it imprints to Ugin's Labyrinth, but pretty close. They also boarded in Stonebrain. Surely Eldrazi Tron can do better than, I got some Stonebrains in the sideboard. I don't need anything else. They got cards in their deck. I'm gonna Stonebrain them. That's my very accurate Eldrazi Tron impression. I could go Talisman plus Nulldrifter here. I think I want a Factor Fiction. Would Jace be okay in the 4-drop slot instead of Factor Fiction? It was really sick in the turns deck. I think this is clearly the Factor Fiction deck instead, with all of our instant speed interaction. Just all day we're we have a wall we have Force, Subtlety, K command, Factor Fiction, and it's just a nightmare for some decks to deal with. when you have to tap out for your card draw spell, it's like way different. Okay, they get another Ugin's Labyrinth. Greyhound with the 27. Thank you. Welcome back. They play an Ugin's Labyrinth. We know they have another Devour in their hand to imprint at the very least, and that does happen. So they've got 6 mana here. They play a Karn. Well, we got a Force, but they don't know that yet, so we'll fact first here. Tie for your donation. Opponent donated the K command to us, and we didn't even Mindslaver them this time. Y'all don't want to play Fact or Fiction? It's like Commander. I'll give you 5 cards if you shout me out on stream. Alright, I guess we set up for K command into Emrakul with that top deck. Alright. My one regret is we didn't get any types in the yard for Emrakul. Resolves. Did I thank you for your sub, Greyhound? Thank you for your sub. So you're going to get a coding. I'm going to K command for... Oh, no, I didn't float mana. So if I K command for 3... Yeah, maybe I need to just bounce the Karn, actually. Also does put a land in the yard for Emrakul. Let's just bounce the Karn, I think. Yeah, now I'm the actor. If I drew a blue card, I can dig for a Force or a Consign. Or if I don't, I could just dig for a Force. Or sorry, just for Consign. Yeah, so here I have 5 looks at a Consign, 6, I guess, if I bottom everything. Which is probably going to be worth it. That'll be... Emrakul will cost 10, and they kill one of my lands. This is turned off, then I have 5. Yeah, I should have exactly enough if I miss. Assuming they have nothing else. They can maybe get explosives off the card. Find a Subtlety. We don't have a blue card, though. So I think I'm just going to bottom all of these. Oh, man. I did say 6 looks, huh? Curd Rose, the 17 months. Welcome back. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well, too. All right. So before I won this league, one of the slowest leagues I've ever played. Let me open our chest here. Final version of Planesware Modern is so high on it. I mean, it's really good in the Urza deck, and it's not super good anywhere else, but there's some other spots you can think about it. All right, not a ton. So there's like a spoiler stream happening right now.